Welcome back to even more JoshCCLP4. This is part 43. This is block. And there's a red key down here. There's a red key over there. And so I think the gimmick of this level is there's a block and you use the block to block things. That's because these rooms all make it very clear that I can't take a block. It's the only block in the level used to get through obstacles and then exit. Alright. Okay, so there was nothing beyond that trap that was useful anyway. So let's start using the block. And this gives me enough room to slip through, easily enough room, and still be able to retrieve. So that's a pretty cool little section. So let's take the block in here, where we have some interesting collisions with the fireballs. I do like that they would definitely all eventually clear out, though. Anyway, we've now got our block down here. We're going to use it to block off this ball, so we can get this red key. So this is honestly a very easy level, but that's fine. I have absolutely nothing against easy levels. So I know that looked a little weird with the back and forth, but that's how I time two tile stuff. I've essentially synchronized myself with the monster, and if I'm on the same, like, I guess parity, even though it's not really a parity, then I go for it. This is an interesting section right here. Like, this is a really interesting section. So we only have the one block, and we can't slip past this ball, except we can. So that is a really cool section that I think makes this whole level really, really good. Just on its own, that one section. Because I really haven't seen that sort of construction before. So yeah, this is, assuming I don't screw this up, this will be block. And you never know, I could screw this up. I've made dumber mistakes. But it doesn't look like that's in the cards for now. And so that is block. That was a fun level. That was a really fun level. So onward to Toggle Lounge. Which seems to be a little gimmicky. I mean, I've seen levels like this before, or sections like this before, but for the most part, those levels don't let you go into the areas in question. So yeah, 7 chips to go. Like, that's a guaranteed chip that you can pick up. It's like, so the cool thing here, though, is that you can adjust your parity of the toggle buttons in quite a few places, and that's how most of these levels end up working, by just not letting you do so. See, right here, I actually need to switch my parity, so I can get this chip without being killed. So yeah, but due to the whole parity thing, routing this would be a bit tricky. I mean, conveniently with my playthrough here, the parity ended up working out quite nicely, but that's far from guaranteed. I mean, if it was designed that way, then that's some pretty cool design. Now we're out in the outside area, and knowing Josh, the exit's probably in the bottom right. Called it! So that's Toggle Lounge. Moving on to Brimstone 8, which I've looked at in the editor and still didn't remember that up is correct. So we have only the one block, and this is sort of like a block slide level. It's really all it is. In my defense, I've got nothing. I have no defense for that mistake. I was trying to go above it so I could push it down. Oh my goodness, this is not a hard level. It's really not, I swear. Okay, so we've got the blocks there, and this is where we want it lined up. And let's send it up this column. Okay, I want that block that one on the right taken care of pretty soon. Where's the block? Okay, there it is. Yes, I did just pull a block slide there. Yeah, let's slam it down there. Had it been one higher, that would have been really cool. Okay, so 2 tips left after this one. I'm not worried about the block just not bouncing back. Okay, one more to go. And where is it? I mean, we've taken it back to the start. So which one, where did I miss one in this level? There it is, there it is. Okay, I see it. That's not too hard to reach. I said that's not too hard to reach. I'm kind of glad I missed that push. That could have ended really badly. So that is Brimstone 8. That's an interesting level. I haven't really played anything quite like it. So moving on to solid vertical structure, where of course there's hidden walls. Why wouldn't there be hidden walls? Or invisible, sorry. And this level looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm kind of surprised that the levels have gotten a lot easier. I'm not complaining, though. I'm definitely not complaining that they've gotten a little easier. So I'm not going to take any of those tips just yet. So I'm going to need to outwit this teeth. The tips are going to be an integral part of my strategy for doing so. Alright, now we've got a little item swapper with these pink balls just bouncing around. Interesting cycles, though. Very interesting. I personally would have made the cycles a little different, but that's just me. So now we go into teleport, and we get to pick up a lot of chips. Nicely done. So I'm going to assume that these traps are all going to be open, just because I don't have any other real options here. So yeah, let's see what to say. So lately, I've been watching essentially like pretty much the main LPs that are going on. at the time of this recording being JBCCLP2, which finished, and I'm not done watching that yet. I've got one left, and then Josh is not CCLP4, which is just, why would you do that to yourself? I still don't know why you would do that to yourself. And then it's like, I've been watching those just because they're interesting to watch. And I'm trying to figure out this puzzle. Is it really that simple? This is simpler than I thought it was. It's like, I've been watching those. There's been some interesting, uh, commentary, feedback. Not so much feedback. Feedback is not the right word to use here. Some interesting commentary, some interesting stuff done. And I know Josh said he wasn't going to use the editor for not CCLP4 early on, and I know he has, but let's be honest, we kind of all knew exactly what was going to happen, especially those of us who knew that, say, Hot Block Party was in the set. So this is water everywhere. I've played this before. Not that it helps me with remembering the solution to this first room. And it's like, I've been watching those. They've been quite interesting with insightful stuff. It's just, I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain the, thought processes behind a lot of things. Like, it's really hard for me, because a lot of my thoughts are not easily verbalized. But I've been enjoying watching those. Not CCLP4 in particular has been hilarious, exactly as Josh expected it would be. I don't think I had any other options with this room at the start. I mean, really, I've got three choices for this block here. I can put it here, which doesn't do me any good. I can put it here, which does me even less good. I could put it here, which does me maybe the most good, but not really any. Yeah, I think I screwed up that room. Just seeing, honestly, one of the things that's impressed me both, honestly, both of those LPs strike me as more impressive than this playthrough, for two reasons. Reason number one, Josh is willingly putting himself through bad levels, and I don't do that. And then the other thing worth noting here is just seeing how much of the bold roots and stuff JB just remembers is, again, really impressive. As I was watching him go through, because I have the final part paused right now. Oracle 2, he did the first half of the bold route, the entire left side, from memory, no mistakes, as far as I could tell, from what I remember. And I always had, yeah, I could do that after a little bit, but if I tried to do that now, I would definitely stop and mess up. And I don't know, I have very bad retention of routes for this game, because they do go by so quickly. And in general, I didn't come up with them, and I'm constantly trying to learn new routes, figure out new puzzles and such. And even while I'm talking, I'm thinking about this one. There's no choice, but this one will have to go down. That makes sense. I think I get it. I think I get it. I'm going to get flippers, and I'm going to come back here with flippers. You can't get both. You can't both leave the room and have flippers for the red key at the same time. So what does this glider get used on? Is it really just for the trap button? I can work with that. And I'm not going to use that recessed wall. So currently the glider would get stuck up there if I were to release it. So it would be cool if you needed the glider for something, but I can see why that wouldn't be done. Let's see. So yeah, just seeing how much of the bold stuff JB just outright knows without needing to reference anything. Because a lot of what I do is uses notes for these playthroughs and such. Not for this one, but like for an optimized run through, or just like even a speed run, I would have notes available to me if I was being serious about it. Anyway, that's water, water everywhere. Moving on to Shrub, which is similar to Zabriskie Point, except it's a lot easier to read. So I don't know why this comes later. Maybe in this set it's because it was designed later. I'm pretty sure it comes earlier in JoshCCL4. Be a nice, easy level for me to keep talking over. What was I talking about? Right. Just, so yeah, it's like Josh has a much higher tolerance for nonsense than I do. And then JB he's so much better at just remembering stuff in terms of routes. But he's been doing it longer for this game. Like, as I've done more and more, I've gotten better at remembering stuff just by, just, I guess, learning techniques to help remember, if that makes any sense. It's like not remembering specific inputs or, like, exact moves so much as do this, then do that. And just general techniques that always apply to, also help out with that. It's like, I've gotten better over time. So it's like, maybe, just maybe, I'm better than I thought. Maybe not. I still think JB is... I think I'm a better solver just because CC2 speaks for itself with our solve times. But I think he's the better player by a lot. Anyway, moving on to Himalayan Pool Party, which I'd hoped I'd reach in this video. Yes, I knew this was coming, but I didn't know I'd get there quite this fast. So yeah, it's like, Josh is pretty good at solving stuff too, which I knew he was, like, far from bad, but he's still better than I thought, so... Like, I do not give some people enough credit, and I really should. And it's like... I know that sounds like a horrible thing to say, and it kind of is.
Bummer.
Really? Really? But here's the thing, I don't give myself enough credit a lot of the time. So it's like, that's just something I need to get better at doing in general.
Bummer.
I was fine if I didn't do that. Oh, you can almost slip in there. Maybe you can if you're perfect with the boosting, because I wasn't there. Every time I die stupidly, I'm going to keep trying that.
Bummer.
Nah, that was perfect boosting, I'm pretty sure, and that was a move short. See, if I designed this level, I would have set the gliders on a slightly different cycle, just so that if you were perfect, you would slip through. Just because that kind of thing is pretty cool when you can pull that off. So, I'm not a huge fan of this ice section, for, I think, obvious reasons. Anyway, this ice section is legit. I mean, it's a maze that doesn't feel like a maze, it feels more like just a room. And it is pretty, like, there are a lot of loops, so it's very lenient with how you do it. And yet, at the same time, it's not so lenient so that it doesn't, like, it's very well crafted. And I think I'm done with this room now, actually. I do, like, the one thing I wish this room had was a more clear way of knowing it was over. Okay, so with my skates, I can really get working on this area. So we're going to do a little double push, just because it makes my life easier to do so. Okay, it doesn't make my life easier, but it makes the overall section go quicker. And just faster block pushing is never a bad thing. Okay. So we'll go down here as well. So now we've got cloning stuff. Do you really think you can make it while holding the skates? No, I don't. But I've got access to this thief. And... This is a really weird ending. Cool, but weird. So that's Himalayan Pool Party. Moving on to Land Shuffle, which I've been making some pretty blistering progress here. So let's go deal with this ice area first. I swear, I haven't played this level before. Like, I legitimately have not played this level before. Um,
Bummer.
why did I do that? Like, can somebody tell me why I thought it was a good idea to take that? I'm not worried about most of these recessed walls at this point. Okay, this room worries me a little bit, just because I am making hot blocks. Okay, there's a red key that I can get by doing that, and a chip I can get by doing that. I'm going to assume there's nothing under any of these, and hope that that was everything, because I couldn't see anything in the lower left. So if I'm missing anything, I'm going to assume it's under a block. So I'm going to need 3 blocks down there. 3? It's hard to tell. Looks like 3, though. So this section I don't really have any options for. So we get another toggle lounge type section here. Not difficult. Not in the slightest. But it's pretty neat. There's a lot of cool stuff going on in this level. So I still have a blue key as we come in here. And I see blocks. I'm going to blow up this bug and take a block out. Yeah, the fact that I can take the blocks out heavily, and the fact that a lot of these rooms keep me from bringing blocks in, to me heavily implies I'm on the right track with this. I'm, yep. So one more, and there's at least one more in here. So this is my usual method of dealing with bugs. I think it works pretty well. I just get the bugs completely stuck, like circling one spot. I mean, it's not perfect, but I mean that's my preferred method of dealing with bugs. I will like do the tile snatch, the thing you have to do to beat chips and chips, but you know I prefer not doing that just because it is a little tougher than the alternative. And if I can do the easy method, I will. So I need fire boots before I can go in there. I've got a green key, so I can start compressing these blobs. And that ticking noise now stops. That ticking noise is a pretty cool level by rock. Okay, so is that really it for the chips? That walker room was really easy, by the way. Yeah, that's it. That is Land Shuffle. And I've played Flipper Departments because I've played the beginning of Josh L6, the first few levels. Not too much of it, admittedly. It's because I knew I was going to be doing this. So I have beaten Flipper Departments before. That just means I know I want to start with up here, because I think up here was the toughest area. Um, okay, maybe it's not that tough. The cycles I got there could definitely have been better. So yeah, this is the first level of the current version of Josh L6. And, well, current being final as well, so... And I don't know, I personally don't think it's a great level 1. Like, I think there's definitely better picks than this. Just because this part in particular can be a little mean. It's like, you go in here, and if you don't get the override, you're cooked. So yeah, that room's a little tough. I don't know, like, maybe it's not a terrible level 1, but at the same time, I just feel like there's stronger options within the set. And if this was CC2, this room would be really silly. In fact, this whole level would be fairly broken in CC2. Anyway, that's it for the flippers. And now we just, well, go to the exit. That's flipper departments. So, should I move on to Ragged Mountain? I think Ragged Mountain is pretty tough. So I'm just seeing what's where. So it goes red. Okay, so red, yellow, blue, green. The locks are under the blocks closest to footwear, one of each color. Fire boots are to be obtained first, and the skates last. So that means the first thing to find is a red key, because I looked. Hey, I see a red key over there. And I now have a red key. Cool. What do I do with it? With the flippers, I'll be able to actually get the blue key. And it went red, yellow, blue, green. Which is important to remember, because if I screw that up, I'm completely screwed. So, what's going on down here? I see 2 blocks and 2 fireballs. Yeah, I think I do want to do this, just because I think I'm going to need both fireballs going in here, which is interesting. Right? I mean, I could take a block. I mean, no, I need 1 block here to be... No, I can go down there with flippers. I don't need a block there. Okay, I'm going to check the editor because I don't want to screw this up stupidly because I don't know what's hidden under blocks. And apparently... And this couldn't have been avoided. There's gravel under this block down here. And there's a trap button under that block. So I'm actually going to leave this stuff set up the way it is here. Just because I don't know if I actually do want the toggling yet. I only looked in the editor to see what was under blocks, just because I don't want to lose because of that. So I actually don't have my blue key yet. And more importantly, I still have a block down there that I could use to get the green key. That would give me suction boots. Wait, no, that would give me skates. That comes at the end. Yeah. Um. Hmm. Maybe I do want to go down this way. Oh, I do want the toggles toggling. The fact that I noticed that you could do that was a very good thing indeed. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I need a fifth. And that will give me the yellow key, which I believe it went red, yellow, blue, green. I'm going to check the editor again just to make sure I'm remembering right. It does, in fact, and I do get the flippers next. I'm not huge on this beginning, especially because in links you wouldn't be able to check. I think that's kind of lame. Either way, this block is without a doubt used on it occurs to me maybe I didn't want to move that just yet, but I don't think I saw anything else with tanks, so I think this is what I want to do. Alright. Blue key, and that'll give me my section boots. I'm gonna kill the slide delay. I don't want slide delay. Like, if I can avoid it, I will. So I don't know if I need these synced or anything. Um... There's another pair of fire boots? What? Okay, that walker's a little tricky. So with my boots, I can go in here and do this. So the block comes up, comes out, comes around, and then what? The block's not useful down here, but I still have it. Yeah, I could take the block up, and I'd have fire boots, so then I could take it up and around to get the green key. And that would give me the skates. What good would having the skates actually do? Like, before I go any farther, what good does having skates do? Um... Oh, I see it. I see it. That's cool. That uses the construction as a level. Like, it builds up consistency and then absolutely removes it. Like, that's really cleverly put together. So, I was a little hesitant to lose my boots, but I'm going to because I see no other way forward here. And... Eh... Yeah. Let's get the fire boots because I will need the fire boots. Okay. So with the fire boots in tow, I get to loop around up here and get me that green key. Like, that section's pretty neat, just with what it does. Okay, so I have a teleport, and I don't know where it leads, and I don't trust it. Apparently I should trust it, because it just gives me this chip. Okay. So we have a little recessed wall loopy section for the final four chips, and this shouldn't be too hard to do. It really shouldn't. These two recessed walls are not useful for anything else. These, then we use three, then we use three. Yeah, this level's okay, I guess. I mean, I don't like how much you have to, like, I think the first room in Lynx especially is a bit of a problem. And but there's some really clever stuff in here too, so I'm honestly a little torn about this. But yeah, that is Ragged Mountain. So yeah, I will move on to Desolate Exile, which is a fairly long block pushing level, in the next video. I mean, yeah, I had a lot of fun with that bunch of levels. Even if Ragged Mountain has some stuff that I wish it didn't have, it was still it was still a fun level to play. I don't think I would have really enjoyed it if I had to do it again from screwing up anywhere near the end. But yeah, aside from that first section, like if that was a little clearer what went where, perhaps by putting an additional lock nearby the area to just show what leads to where. Like here, just because this is basically it. No, that's not my editor window. Um, it's like this is my editor window. So it's so like just to demonstrate what I mean here. Like what I think would seriously improve Ragged Mountain. So there's the original Ragged Mountain. Here's what I would change. And then, I don't know, like a green lock here as well. Just because it keeps the aesthetic. And all of a sudden, you now know what's under each. You now know what exactly is under each of those blocks. I don't think you necessarily need to be told that the green key comes last in that case. Like, just because in Lynx you wouldn't be able to tell. Like, that's the only reason why. In Lynx you would not be able to tell. Other than that, yeah, in Lynx you wouldn't be able to tell, so you'd be able to move the hint tile to like here and say that, hey, this button links up to that trap. And I think that those two small changes would, on their own, like seriously improve this level. Because everything aside from not knowing what's under this block and not knowing what's under these blocks, I really liked. So that's just what I would do. I don't know if that's a change Josh will make. I think he likes the level as is, but that's just my 2 cents on it. So yeah, we'll move on to Desolate Exile when I next record, which will probably be, I don't know, like an hour from now. Um, Awkward silency outro for the win, maybe. Okay, bye.